Hi, I'm Asher on summer break and about to start second grade. Thanks to awesome people like you who picked Aloe Fiber. They donated $193,000 to schools like mine. This summer, I'm using my fast internet to keep learning, and I can't wait to tell my teacher everything I discovered. So if you're a grown-up picking internet, choose Aloe, because Aloe chooses us, our schools, our town, and our future. Go to aloefiber.com to learn more.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Amon Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Amon Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is right. We are back. Welcome in. It's The Drive on a Tuesday. Nick Sainert here alongside filling in for AD today. It's Terrell Farley. Terrell, man, I don't know if we've ever done a show together. And so we've done pregame show segments for Husker football game days, but here we are. We have a full 2 hours ahead of us. Good morning, my friend.
Well, good morning, Nick. Thank you for having me on the show this morning, Nick. Very glad to be sitting with you and doing a couple of sport things, my friend.
I appreciate you coming in a little earlier than usual.
Yeah, you took 2 hours out of my Call of Duty time, but
okay. Anything
for Nick Sainert.
Well, I appreciate that. We have plenty of stuff to get to. By the way, you guys are more than welcome to join the conversation. 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, and the Sartor Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show today, as well as our Sartor Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Allo Cable TV channel 961. The show, as always, brought to you by our good friends over at Doors Plus. Visit them online, doorsplusllc.com today. All right, Terrell, so we'll get into football and everything here in just a couple of minutes. We have plenty of stuff to get to. A little bit of Husker football conversation in the 10 o'clock hour. I asked the question to you yesterday, and I want to ask the listeners this today. Of Nebraska, obviously last year wins 7 games with the win in the Pinstripe Bowl over Boston College. But then now everybody's making such a big deal about year 3. what do they need to do? What is maybe one specific thing that needs to happen to where they can continue to elevate and trend in the right direction? And ultimately that means win more than 7 games. So we'll talk about that in the 10 o'clock hour. Here in the first hour, plenty of NFL conversation. Urban Meyer came out yesterday or 2 days ago and mentioned that he was approached to be in a GM for a college football program, and kind of shed some insight on specifically what a GM job entails. And I want to get your thoughts on that throughout the entire show. But we do want to send our congratulations to Raph and his now wife, Tracy. They are officially married. They got married last night in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Obviously, AD was the officiant, so that's why AD went down there. But AD will be back tomorrow, and Terrell, you'll be off the hook tomorrow.
Did AD officiated the wedding?
He did.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Also, congratulations to Kenny Wilhite, who got married over the weekend.
Nice.
In Las Vegas. So I hope those two guys don't rub off on me and you, Nick. So let's not us be catching bouquets.
We're not next.
Yeah, we're not next.
Okay,
Nick. I am not next. Yeah, so the only thing next for me is 50 years old in a month and a half.
I know. How are we feeling?
I feel great. I mean, especially
you look great.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't start, Nick.
Hey, Terrell, you look great. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It takes a lot to be. I'm not saying a lot, but to reach this point in life, I'm still grateful to be here, and we lose people every day and things like that. Yesterday, I did something really amazing to myself because, I kind of stopped myself in my tracks.
Okay.
I was downtown last night, probably 11 o'clock, getting something to eat. Guy walks up to me. He says, hey, man, you got some money? I was like, no, I don't have any cash on me. I got a card. And I kind of asked, I said, all right, why? I like to ask questions. I said, why? He said, well, I wanted to get some a soda and some fries. So I kind of walked off, but I took probably 2 steps, man, and I guess the good in me turned around. I said, "Come on, man, let's go in here." And I ended up buying them a whole dinner plate, man.
Nice.
And that made me. It took a lot of. I guess I don't know how to say it, but something raised up. It took a lot of pressure off me when I did that.
Yeah,
because I think it made me feel good first of all, and I didn't want to be that type of person because. You never know what situation you can be in or how life treats you. So I did the good thing yesterday, man.
That reminds me of a lot, and I've told these stories on the air before. I mean, in no way is this saying me and Terrell like, hey, look at us, look what we did. This is not in no way of that. But there was something that we did, and this is one thing I appreciate about the way that my head baseball coach ran our program at Pius was he obviously is not there anymore. But one thing that we did every Wednesday, we would meet and figure out, okay, how are we going to make the community better? And each week had a different theme. And to play off of baseball, we called it extra innings. And it would be like after practice on Wednesday nights, we knew everybody sticks around for an extra hour and we talk about this. Well, one thing with community is, all right, let's go out and provide food for less fortunate folks. And so it was literally something as simple as me and a couple of teammates or a couple of guys would go out, we'd get a meal and we'd find somebody to give it to. And like things like that can go so much farther than just cash, right? Like obviously that the person was asking for cash, but you don't always know. I mean, this is being honest and transparent. You don't always know where that cash is truly going to go or what it's truly going to be used for. And so, at the end of the day, everybody needs a warm meal or needs whatever the case may be.
Some people just need talking to.
Yeah, the conversation was the best part of it all.
And one thing about that, Nick, and I've been sober for 10 years.
Yep.
And as the years went by, I missed some connections with some people. But when I reunite with them, their story is better than ever. For instance, 10 years sober. Not saying I helped 4 people, but 4 people I know stopped drinking. And yesterday was another one when I met. I used to play Keno with 2 twins. Shout out to the twins who work in Milford. Listen to the show.
Is that right?
They're big Keno fans. Seen them at the Crow. Well, I seen them walking down the street yesterday. They stay across the street from the Crow's Nest, and I turned around because I haven't seen them in about 2.5 years. So, and the first thing they say, Terrell, you wouldn't believe it. we stopped drinking. Year and a half.
Wow.
I said, God bless you. And I gave him a hug, man. And I gave him a ride over there and to play Keno. And I sat in there for about 5 minutes with him, man, and got their numbers, try to rekindle that friendship because, you never know what people go through. But at the same time, man, it makes me feel so good to hear people's story about how they stopped drinking because, especially when you get later in life and that alcohol takes a toll on you and it really messes your body up. I mean, it's good when you're young, but I'm not trying to be a doctor or a preacher or a priest or anything about this situation, but it makes me feel good because it was something I never thought I could do.
Yeah.
And to help others and reach others, maybe that's my calling in life besides radio.
Okay, so a lot of people know your story to a certain extent, but walk us through, since we're on this conversation. I mean, we'll get to NFL and hot seat coaches in a minute, but that'll always be there. What's been the toughest through your 10 years? What's been the toughest piece of adversity or road that you've had to overcome? Because I'm sure it was. I don't want to say harder at the start because there's different levels of challenges. I'm sure, like you're facing different challenges now 10 years later rather than 4 months after you decided to. So like walk us through like the toughest part in those first
I think
12 months of trying to change your life.
The toughest part is Nick, is missing your family. I had to separate myself from my family because I come from a family that drinks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's why I moved here because I wanted to change and first I wanted to make sure that I can come back to Nebraska and get myself right. Get myself right with myself. Do something that because I feel like I left on a bad note.
Yeah.
So I came back to Nebraska to get that right. The hardest part is not being around my family so much because, I had to make myself stronger. And when I say make myself stronger, I had to be around people who drink and then you have to listen to the crazy talks of people who drink alcohol and then talk a certain way. But, I think the hardest part is just missing out on friendship. Not really friendship, but not being able, at the beginning, I wasn't able to hang around friends because of the situation that was alcohol. And then, you never know, Nick, you could be put in a position that you may grab the wrong drink in the bar and you never know what happens. So you have to be careful about that. And it's just I think I'm really blessed to just have that opportunity to stop and really show myself that I can do it because I didn't believe in myself at first when I first started.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people
who did.
God. I think he was the only person that believed in me, and I think Ricky Simmons, who gave me the chance to allow him to work with me because when you work with somebody like Ricky doesn't have techniques like all these counselors around here. Ricky's the good cop, bad cop type of person, and that's what you need. That's what you need. If you can't take let's see, not bad talk, but somebody that stays on your ass, then maybe Ricky's not the person for you. But Ricky told me straight up, like, hey, either you're gonna do it or you're not. You're not gonna waste my time. And at first I didn't know if I was gonna stick with it. But when you stick with, I was always taught when you start something, you finish it. So
is it easy now?
Oh, it's too easy. It's too easy. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You never forget. So, it's just good life advice and just keep believing in yourself every day.
I mean, it's really, really cool. And obviously we're privy to know each other, but hopefully, I mean, this is part of one of the great, like, intimate parts of sports radio and just talk radio in general is because we can have these extended conversations. We're not confined to in between songs and a 2.5 minute commercial break or whatever the case may be. So this is obviously something that we appreciate. Okay. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys. The entire show today will be here filling the airwaves till 11 o'clock. All right, let's talk a little NFL here because on CBS Sports, they came out with an article, Terrell, that listed the 5 coaches in the NFL that were on the hottest seats. And I mean, a lot of similar and familiar organizations are on here because it feels like maybe not so much anymore, but it felt like about 5 to 10 years ago, all they did in the NFL was recycle coaches. Like Rex Ryan would get fired, he'd go to a new spot. Adam Gase would get fired, he'd go to a new spot. Now we're seeing less and less of that. I think we're seeing more offensive and defensive coordinators get jobs. Not saying that they didn't do that before, but you look at the cycle this last year, and obviously they're headlined by 2 Detroit Lion guys where Aaron Glenn goes to New York and obviously Ben Johnson goes to the Chicago Bears. But when you look at this list and the 5 that they put on there, we'll just say the names. Obviously, the one on the hottest seat, according to CBS Sports, is the New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll. Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins comes in second. How about this one? Zach Taylor from the Cincinnati Bengals is at third. Shane Steichen for the Colts at 4. And then Sean McDermott from the Buffalo Bills is at 5. We'll talk about those guys specifically and just in depth. But I guess, like, kind of what are your thoughts overall on the NFL coaching cycles? And let's talk about a couple of the coordinators that got jobs, like Ben Johnson going to Chicago. A lot of things in the NFL and in professional sports in general, it's about organization. How is the organization ran, and does it fit well with the coach, not just how good of a coach they are?
Well, I think what the NFL is really adapting to now is younger coaches, and changing the culture of their locker room. I think that Aaron Glenn was a great hire. I do admire him a lot, especially when he was at A&M. But it gives the coaches who really stopped playing probably 10 years ago and still involved in with the players, and the players feel them. Now, old coaches like Bill Belichick, not saying that to take it away from him, or Andy Reid, because I played for Andy Reid when he was at Green Bay. He was the tight end coach, and 25 years later, 30 years later, he's still coaching.
Yeah.
But, and he has his program running tip top. But I think it's more about coaches getting closer to the players.
I think even we talk about the importance of relationships so much in college athletics, right? I think it can still reign true for professional sports as well. I mean, so the New York Jets are just a fascinating case study over the last decade plus, because you look at the coaches that they've had, and they had a little bit of longevity with Rex Ryan and a little bit of success with Rex. He was the head coach, I want to say, from like 2009 to 2014. And he made the playoffs 2 or 3 times under Rex Ryan, ends up firing him. Todd Bowles was the next head coach then, who has completely reshifted the way we view Todd Bowles' career, not from an X's and O's standpoint, but from a success standpoint, because he struggles a little bit in New York, gets fired, moves now to a coordinator job, and here he is. We view Todd Bowles as a very, very good football coach. Adam Gase, not necessarily the same there. He was 9-23, I think it was, when I looked it up, in his overall record over the course of a couple of seasons. Then they go out and hire a younger coach, like you said, in Robert Saleh. But then through everything last year, Robert Saleh is fired. Their GM, Joe Douglas, is fired. And so they go out and get a former player of theirs, Aaron Glenn. And Aaron Glenn had multiple potential jobs that he could have gone to. But I think, fortunately for the Jets, considering that Aaron Glenn played for them, that one kind of stood up above the rest, because New York is a madhouse. We talk about it all the time with the amount of eyeballs that are on you in the city of New York. That's why certain quarterbacks haven't worked there. Zach Wilson's a great example. You take a BYU kid and you put him in the center of the biggest market in the world in New York and say, okay, go lead a football team. It's not a great combination. And so here you have it. Aaron Rodgers tries it, doesn't work there. And you're going to bring in Aaron Glenn. I mean, I think the Jets are just a fascinating case study.
Yeah, and the thing about the Jets is kind of funny that I feel like, in honest truth, that Aaron Rodgers messed the Jets up, especially when you listen to players and, I need this guy. I need that guy. I need this guy on this team. No, you need to worry about your position and concentrate on what you need, and let the GMs and people, the pro scouts, bring the people in
them do their job
that fits their need. Now you give a player so much power that, I'll be there when I come out of my cave, or Russell Wilson. I need this office. I need this parking lot. No, you're one player, and that's what I don't understand. And now you take a person like Aaron Rodgers and you bring him to Pittsburgh, but you have a coach who doesn't play that nonsense, and Mike Tomlin there, and now he has to just play his role. But, I think the Jets are in a better position now when you just play football and let the guys in the front office do the work.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. And one last thing, I mean, now they bring in Justin Fields at quarterback, and they signed him to a 2-year, $40 million deal. I mean, we're talking about career rejuvenation for Justin Fields, as he never really got, I mean, he got a fair shot in Chicago. But once again, how that organization's ran and how it is built around like Justin Fields, it's different than the way they're building it around Caleb Williams and stuff. And so, I mean, it's dramatically different. And so you look at the way that Chicago drafted when Caleb Williams got involved. It was Rome Odunze. They also took him in the top 10. So like there was a clear plan and hope and expectation that that if you're the Chicago Bears, you need to build around Caleb Williams, which, by the way, the Chicago Bears have an interesting approach right now with Ben Johnson, an offensive-minded head coach, continuing to try to give Caleb Williams everything he needs, all the resources he needs to kind of be successful and lead that team for the next couple of years. But yeah, Justin Fields, kind of resets and kicks his career back off up in New York, gets $20 million because he went to Pittsburgh, was under Mike Tomlin, and had a good couple of games before they ultimately gave the starting job back to Russell Wilson. But it's just a really, really interesting couple of teams between the Bears, the Steelers, and what they're doing and chose to do with moving on from Kenny Pickett a couple of years ago, and now moving on from both guys that they had on the roster last year and bringing in somebody like Aaron Rodgers.
Now, question: Does Justin Fields have that same supporting cast as Caleb Williams has at Chicago? Does he have it in New Jersey?
No way.
So
now, granted, like Garrett Wilson's legit.
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson on the perimeter is legit.
Yeah. Does he have the line? Does he have the running back? So he's still not saying he's set up for failure, but he doesn't have the luxury of what Caleb Williams has. And because I love Justin Fields.
I do too.
He's a Georgia guy.
Yeah.
Left Georgia to go to Ohio State, did get his career back on straight, but you're not putting him in a win position. Because you give him $20,000 a year doesn't mean you have the right pieces in there already.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a great point. So obviously the offense will look something like, I mean, Breece Hall's out there for him. They brought back Alan Lazard, but outside of that, they also signed, I forgot about this guy. They also signed Tyler Johnson, the former Minnesota wide receiver from, he started his career out in Tampa Bay, but they signed Tyler Johnson there. But yeah, I mean, we'll see kind of what goes on with the New York Jets this year. Didn't expect to talk New York Jets football this morning here, Terrell.
Yeah.
But here we are. Okay, let's get to the hot seat conversation because there are a couple of interesting names. Obviously, the one with Zach Taylor kind of piqued my interest just because.
Should have been gone last year, I think.
Okay, so see, I want to get your thoughts on that one. But then also with the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott, his name being on this list. And this list isn't an end-all be-all, certainly, but it certainly kind of raises your interest and piques your eyebrows a little bit. So 402-464-5685. Terrell Farley sitting in for Aaron Davis here today. AD will be flying back later on today, so he's back in the studio tomorrow. But Nick Sainert, Terrell Farley leading you through the drive here on a Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hi, I'm Asher on summer break and about to start 2nd grade. Thanks to awesome people like you who picked Allo Fiber. They donated $193,000 to schools like mine. This summer, I'm using my fast internet to keep learning, and I can't wait to tell my teacher everything I discovered. So if you're a grown-up picking internet, choose Allo, because Allo chooses us, our schools, our town, and our future. Go to allofiber.com to learn more.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the summer 10-week challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750. All through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home.
No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Bring new life to metal treasures with Kaiser Blasting and Coatings. From railings and fences to outdoor furniture and unique antiques, their expert team removes years of rust and weathering, then finishes each piece with a lasting powder coat. Trusted by industries across the region, now local homeowners and businesses can experience the same professional care. Visit KaiserBlasting.com or call 402-421-3559 to request your quote. Restore, protect, and make your metal shine like never before with the help of Kaiser Blasting and Coatings.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raf, and Amon Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into The Drive. Happy Tuesday. Nick Sainert, Terrell Farley alongside AD back tomorrow. This segment, before we get to NFL coaching stuff, this segment brought to you by our friend Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services. Jack has been a well-respected representative since 1999 and can help you protect your home, your vehicle, your family, or even your future. Visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward today and give Jack Russell a call, 402-421-9100, and learn how Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services can help you protect what matters most. Once again, Nick Sainert, Terrell Farley alongside 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys the rest of the show today. All right, Terrell, so we kind of branched off into talking New York Jets football, and we didn't expect to in the first segment. So let's get a little bit back on track here with some NFL hot seat situations. And I mentioned in the first segment that the 5 that CBS Sports laid out, and certainly it's not gospel, is Buffalo Bills head coach Sean McDermott, Indianapolis Colts Shane Steichen, Cincinnati Bengals coach Zach Taylor, Mike McDaniel from the Miami Dolphins, and last but certainly not least, coming in on the hottest seat, Brian Daboll from the New York Giants. Any of them stand out of the 5 that they mentioned?
I know the least. Yeah, Sean McDermott.
Okay.
Don't think he deserves to be on this list.
Okay, I agree.
You're looking at a guy who has the second most wins by in his first 8 seasons?
Yeah.
93 wins. I mean, how could a guy, and he took you to the AFC Championship a couple of times. I mean, just because it's a hit and miss season when you can't beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at their record.
I was going to say one of the best teams in the NFL.
So you having him on the hot seat is kind of a mistake. I mean, not even the warm seat for him. I think his seat is cool as anybody's seat in the NFL.
Now, hold on. I would push back a little bit on that and say that. Okay, here I have to think about how to say this properly. You have to keep the pressure on, though.
Yeah,
you can't get complacent.
Yeah,
and so because I think complacency builds laziness and it allows laziness. I think it's important for the Bills in the situation that they're in. They look around and they see what the Kansas City Chiefs have done, and they look at themselves and say, okay, well, we have an MVP caliber quarterback in our own right, and Josh Allen, and I think you do. I'm a big fan of talking about championship windows, and it's not that the Bills' championship window has closed, but it feels like with a couple of the guys that they had in that room, whether it was offense or defense, and I'm talking James Cook, and when you had Stephon Diggs through his prime, and times like that, that was some of your best chances to win a Super Bowl, and you missed out. You missed out on a couple of them because you couldn't get over the hump. And I think when we talk, not to jump ahead because we can stay on the Buffalo Bills, but that's where when you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, that's where you feel like, okay, you've had a really good front four that now Trey Hendrickson is on that side and he's holding out. He's not going to be a part of practice and the training camp going forward until he gets a new contract. You look around the offense and who knows how much longer you're going to be able to keep the combination of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase together. You had a pretty good running back in Joe Mixon in the backfield, and now you have Chase Brown, all centered around, once again, your franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow, who you've committed a lot of money to. And how much closer are you now than you were 4 years ago from winning a Super Bowl? And so I think you can't get complacent and you can't get lazy, but also being realistic about what you've been able to do and accomplish the last couple of years is important as well.
Well, I think the pressure is more on Josh Allen than it is on the head coach. I mean, when you have a guy that can do it all like him, I mean, what Buffalo demands out of Josh Allen, Kansas City doesn't demand out of Patrick Mahomes, and with the running style he has, because you don't see a quarterback that size, that big, that can really get down the field and tries to do it so much that he's willing to sacrifice his body for his whole team. Now, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to do that. He has a Kelsey. He has a running back stable. I mean, quite a few guys. He has the wide receivers. Not saying they're great, but he has a complete team around him, and that's what Josh Allen doesn't have a complete. James, when you talk about the running backs,
I really like James Cook though.
James Cook hasn't had that breakout season since he was whoever he was with before that. I mean, he's not 1,000 yards rusher. He's a guy that comes out the backfield that can catch, but you got to give him the chance to do it. I haven't seen it out of him yet.
I mean, James Cook last year, so just to provide context to the situation, 16 rushing touchdowns last year, had just over 1,000 yards, had 1,009 yards.
Yeah.
So to your point, right? I mean, you're grasping at straws there to find the small differences. I think one thing that you mentioned with the Kansas City Chiefs, because it's so easy to compare the Bills and the Chiefs, they've had some really, really good matchups the last couple of years, especially in the playoffs. The Chiefs have been able, and this is partially why maybe we view Patrick Mahomes as better than Josh Allen. They've been able to usher in new faces and new people and seemingly not miss a step, where the Buffalo Bills have not necessarily. They've tried different combinations. They've tried to go, and when we're entering year 2 in Keon Coleman, who's somebody that they drafted in the second round. Like the Bills have used higher draft picks to try to help Josh Allen out. And so I think it's okay to look at it tandem and say this is not only on Josh Allen, but it's also on the head coach, Sean McDermott, because the Bills have lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs 4 of the last 5 years. It's like at some point you have to be so familiar with somebody. We say it all the time on the other side of it, where it's hard to beat the same team twice. It's very difficult to beat them 3 times. How about 4?
Yeah.
How about 4? When you look at it on paper and say from a sheer talent standpoint on paper, the Bills look like they should be better. The Bills are at times the higher seed, and it does not matter. And so I think over time, though, and this is playing devil's advocate and looking at it from both sides and saying, okay, if you're the Buffalo Bills and you have all this this data and all these statistics that say you've done everything you can to give Sean McDermott the best roster available or to put Josh Allen in the best situation possible, and yet you still lose to the same team, the same organization 4 out of the last 5 years. Let's hypothetically say it's 5 out of the last 6 after this season. At some point, I feel like just stale. It just becomes stale. And you're like, all right, we need a new energy in here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's come from coaching. I think the Bills and Chiefs, their roster is probably
pretty similar.
To each other. I mean,
similar.
They say they're even.
Yeah.
So now where's the disadvantage?
And most importantly, they have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
So you see where the advantages go to. Now the advantages goes to the coaching. Like how you're prepared. Whose coaches are smarter in a situation? Andy Reid probably he's a better coach than Sean
McDermott. Yeah,
Sean McDermott.
And just been around the block longer.
Yeah, and that's where that factor comes into that. he's playing chess, not checkers with him. So you got to get on his level of chess when it's time to beat him in a close game.
Okay, so you opened up a Pandora's box here, because the other side of this too, what you just mentioned with Andy Reid is, we're talking about a guy, he's going to be 68 years old this year, or excuse me, next March, rather. He'll be 68 years old, and you just wonder how much longer, and where do the Chiefs go then after that, right? Because, Andy Reid's won multiple Super Bowls. He's a coach of the year. He's done it all.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done it well and been successful at multiple places, obviously with the Philadelphia Eagles and now Kansas City Chiefs. So it's almost the question of, when does he decide to call it? And it might not be after this year, and it might be, a little bit later. But ultimately, you opened up that Pandora's box, and my mind started wandering of like, man, where would the Bills go if they choose to fire Sean McDermott? But then on the other side, who's the team that we're talking about them losing to for the last 5 years in the playoffs? Kansas City Chiefs. What are the Chiefs going to do? They'll have options, obviously, but think about the shockwaves that'll send through that sport. This is the current dynasty.
Yeah,
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it's hard to fire a guy like McDermott when you're playing a team that's probably the New England team of the 25th century. When you say that, because it was teams that couldn't beat Belichick for years, and then look at Kansas City, they couldn't beat Belichick until they got Patrick Mahomes.
Here's what's crazy to put this in perspective of what Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and that entire organization, whether the Hunt family, the owners of the Chiefs, what they've done. Terrell, if I asked you, just out of curiosity, see how close you can get. If I would have asked you, okay, what is the average winning percentage for NFL head coaches over their career? What would you say?
Probably 75% to 65.
A little bit less, under 500. 45% essentially, 447.
Yeah,
is the average, including regular season and playoffs.
For losing coaches, huh?
Yeah, yeah, because that's what you have to. You also have to. That's where the.
Well, when the last time Kansas City had a losing record?
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But get this. Andy Reid's win percentage in 196 games for the Kansas City Chiefs, 73%. Over the course of 12 years, he's won 73% of their games. That is when you look at the NFL average being 44 or 45%, depending on if you want to round up or not to the third decimal. That is a dramatic difference. And the once again, it shows the dynasty and the level of success the Kansas City Chiefs have had. That's mind-boggling to really wrap your head around, of like, at some point the Chiefs are going to have to move on from a coach that has won 3 out of every 4 games in the NFL. When the margin for error is slim, when the talent is as good as they come.
Yeah.
It is. That's crazy to think about. To answer your question about the last time that the Chiefs had a below 500 season, well, the last time that Andy Reid coached a under 500 season was his last year in Philly. In 2012. Let's see. The last year that the Chiefs had it. How about this? Romeo Crennel was the head coach in 2012. That's a name I have forgotten about. Romeo Crennel. They went 2-14. The next year, in the first year of Andy Reid, 11-5.
Different coaching philosophy.
Yeah. And different player. Obviously Alex Smith was involved in that 2013
One of my favorites.
team.
One of my favorites, Alex Smith. Till he broke his leg.
I did not know this. In that 2012 year, that the Kansas City Chiefs were 2-14, their offensive coordinator, and look at this full circle moment, their offensive coordinator, current New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll, who is number 1 on the hot seat rankings.
Oh yeah, he's number 1 for sure.
This is the write-up that CBS Sports, before we get to break, this is the write-up CBS Sports put on Brian Daboll. No coach has a hotter seat entering 2025 than Daboll. In 3 years he's been on the job, the Giants are 18-32-1, and they're coming off of a 3-14 season last year. Ownership decided to give him and general manager Joe Schoen another shot in 25. Poor quarterback play has been the Achilles heel for the Giants over Daboll's tenure, and the organization did make efforts this offseason to rectify it. It signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in free agency. and then traded up into the back end of the first round of the draft to select Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. I think that's the other thing to be. You have to be realistic with yourself, and I actually appreciate the Giants giving Dable another chance because you committed a lot of money to Daniel Jones a couple of years ago to do a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think they fumbled the ball with bringing in two veterans like that. I mean, you're not going to get it.
What about the fact that they just allowed Saquon Barkley to leave too?
Yeah, I mean,
this is organization stuff.
Yeah, this is inside job.
Yeah, I'm not saying Brian Dable's a good coach, but you can't sit here and be like, yeah, Dable's the reason that they suck.
No,
you allowed the best running back in the league to walk.
And to come back and hunt you with his play. So, that's bad general manager, player personnel. It starts at the top, though, with the coach. So, it's general manager, the coach. Bye-bye at the end of the season if you can't get it right.
It's crazy. Now the Giants do have a gauntlet before their bye in week 14. 7 of their first 12 opponents are all coming off of playoff appearances last year. The non-playoff teams are Cowboys on the road, Saints on the road, 49ers, Bears on the road, and Patriots on the road.
Well, you probably can win 2 out of that 5, probably.
Okay, cool. What about the other 7 games that all have playoff teams?
Yeah,
It looks bleak.
Your seat's on fire already.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. All right. Anyway, 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys the rest of the way, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Allo Cable Channel 961 as well. All right, let's get some history going. There's some NBA history that I want to get Terrell's thoughts on that on this day about 15 years ago, and an announcement happened. We'll talk about that when we come back to close out the first hour of The Drive.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Hi, I'm Asher on summer break and about to start 2nd grade. Thanks to awesome people like you who picked Allo Fiber. They donated $193,000 to schools like mine. This summer, I'm using my fast internet to keep learning, and I can't wait to tell my teacher everything I discovered. So if you're a grown-up picking internet, choose Allo, because Allo chooses us, our schools, our town, and our future. Go to allofiber.com to learn more.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms this morning. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high near 87. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to BeBigNow.org.
Play ball! Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
MHC Moving is the new name in the industry, but the same trusted service as before. Formerly Moe's Home and Commercial, MHC Moving offers 40 years of experience by owner Marty Marison. They specialize in apartment, residential, commercial, and assisted living moves. There's never truck fees or fuel charges, and no trip charges, stair fees, elevator fees, or long carry fees, and no last-minute booking fees. Also, no upcharge on weekends, and they do offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492. G187747 and G196599.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raph, and Amon Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in, closing up hour number 1 of The Drive on a Tuesday. Nick Sainert, Terrell Farley sitting in for AD. AD back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're actually going to be at the Adam Carricker camp, football camp at the Lincoln Youth Football Fields. And so we'll be out there from 9 to 1 a.m. So make sure you tune in for that. So there'll be a lot of former players involved. I'm sure we'll try to get a couple of them to sit on down and hang out with us for a little bit for obviously the drive from 9 to 11 with myself and AD. And then one-on-one with DP will be out there from 11 to 1 as well at the Lincoln Youth Football Fields. Obviously, close friendship with Lincoln Youth Football and their show on Saturday mornings, but also Adam Carricker running his football camp out there from their facilities over by Sherman Field tomorrow. Okay, so today, on this day in history, a couple minutes here before we close out hour number 1. Terrell, I wanted to start with this. On this day in 2010, 15 years ago, LeBron James made the decision on ESPN, on national television. He said, I'm going to be taking my talents to South Beach. He said he announced that he was going to join the Miami Heat. The next day on July 9th, he would end up signing, get this, a 6-year contract for $110 million. You want to talk about how the market has shifted? You've got guys left
he can
and
get
right.
that in 2 years now.
You're talking about role-playing guys that are getting $150 million over the course of 3 years. LeBron James, who was at the time still one of the best players in the league, ends up signing a 6-year, $110.1 million contract with the Miami Heat that included a termination option after the 4th season. He would end up exercising that in 2014 and going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. However, just a crazy situation to think that LeBron James signed for 6 years, $110 million. I mean, we're less than $20 million a year. That's like $14 million a year.
Yeah, that's not basketball no more. I mean, you see guys like SGA. He signs a 4-year, $170 million, $80 million, 200 and some thousand, 200 some million. I mean, basketball makes me
It's
wonder.
crazy.
If I was 6'6", I would probably played basketball.
I'm trying to see if I can pull up just some of the contracts that have been made this year. I mean, I think the easiest way is to go to look at Twitter. So obviously Adrian Wojnarowski, so Shams. I gotta look at Shams. Okay, here's the perfect example. Paolo Banchero, who is a very important player for the Orlando Magic. 5 years, $239 million. He just signed it yesterday.
How much?
5 years, $239 million.
5 years. Ooh, that's
that's the rookie max for the Orlando Magic. But once again, 5 years, $239 million, $239 million guaranteed for Paolo Banchero. And when just 15 years ago, the best player in the world signed a 6-year, $110 million.
That's crazy.
Now, granted, to form the three team party of Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James, maybe they had to take a small pay cut, right, to be able to make it work with the salary cap and everything that was going on back in 2010. However, I mean, it's crazy. Some of the contracts that are being thrown around. 3 years, $12 million deal for Ryan Rollins. I mean, once again, it's not to be disrespectful, but you go, who? So it's just crazy.
A guy on the end of the bench that gets 2 minutes a game.
Yeah, right.
Get $4 million a year.
Magic and Paolo Banchero. Now, Paolo Banchero is very good. $239 million rookie max deal. That's crazy. Yeah. So, all right, in hour number 2 here, and this is we're gonna invite a lot of listener participation here. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line. Nebraska obviously coming off of a bowl victory in the Pinstripe Bowl, but looking ahead to now 2025 season, as we are less than 2 weeks away from Big Ten Media Day. 2 weeks from today actually will be the day that it starts. Nebraska will speak on day one in the Big Ten Media Days event. So 2 weeks from today we'll have coverage live from Las Vegas. Now the thing is, we can have these conversations of what is one or two things that Nebraska needs to do to continue to build and show the fan base that they're trending in the right direction. Is that a Dylan Raiola statistic of less than 10 interceptions? Is that Emmett Johnson? Can you put a quantity or a specific number on it? Do you want to tie it? Or is it something relative to where it's like, all right, you just have to look like it's smoother coming out of the gates, and whatever, whether it's a definite amount or whether it's relative, doesn't matter. But we ask you guys, we'll give our thoughts, Terrell and myself, but we ask your guys' thoughts. What does Nebraska have to do to win more than 7 games this year? We'll talk about it when we come back. Hour 2, right after this.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Welcome to The Drive with A.D. Raff and Amon Green. Former Husker football national champion, speaker, and author, Aaron Davis.
Nebraska will win the national championship. The Cornhuskers beat Miami. It is history, 13-0, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
Former Arena Football League quarterback, former head coach of the Capital City Crush, and guru of Husker football history, Chris Raff.
25 straight wins for the Cornhuskers. One of the most dominating stretches in college football history.
We may have seen one of the best teams in the history of college football tonight.
12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska eSports coach, Amon Green.
Look at Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is right. We are back. It is The Drive, and that is right. We are sponsored by and presented by our friends over at Doors Plus. Visit them online today, doorsplusllc.com. Nick Sainer, Terrell Farley alongside, sitting in for AD. AD back mañana on Wednesday. He'll be joining us once again for the rest of the week. Here in the 10 o'clock hour to start, we especially want to talk about Husker football. However, if you missed any part of the first hour, make sure you check it out on the podcast page. You can always go back, and if you want the video or the visual component, you can always check it out on the YouTube stream. They're all archived there for your pleasure and viewing experience. Okay, let's talk a little Husker football, Terrell, as we get ready to really ramp things up ahead of the 2025 season. As we get ready to ramp up ahead of the 2025 season, I apologize. I'm getting a phone call from it's the caller ID. I have to say this. The caller ID on my watch said the Ritz-Carlton.
Rich guy.
And that's not, but I was thrown off by
President Trump.
I hope not.
Hey, Nicholas.
Either way. So I apologize. That's why I was thrown off, but I can put the phone off to the side. But anyway, Husker football, we're getting ready to ramp this up. Big Ten Media Days. Nebraska speaks on day one of Media Days, which will be 2 weeks from today in Las Vegas. But here's the thing. We make such a big deal, and I hate it. We make such a big deal about year 3 for coaches. Let's start there before we dive into the details. Why is year 3 such a big deal? As somebody that played, why is it such a big deal for coaches?
Well, history. I mean,
Okay.
if you look at the history of Matt Rule, every third year at every school he stopped has been his biggest year. Can this happen at Nebraska? I don't know.
Yeah.
When we talk about this Nebraska football and the patterns that we've seen in the last several years, it doesn't sit well with us.
Yeah.
Now, when not saying that I don't believe in Matt Rule's third year at every school, you got to show me better than to tell me.
Yeah, I think so much of it is just stop talking about it, just be about it.
Yeah. I think that's one of the main things. I mean, and this Nebraska team is good. How good it equals up in the Big Ten is going to be a wait and see time this year. Schedule wise, it favors us. Having Dana Holgerson at the beginning is more better for us. And
oh yeah,
and what kind of worries me is the John Butler effect. How is he gonna be? Is he a Tony White type of guy, or is he gonna really put that pressure on at the end of the game? Or are we gonna be able to close it out? That's my main concern right there.
100%, because there's going to be a lot of games, and there are every single year, But it feels like when you look at the schedule, and we're not diving down the road of, hey, let's look at the schedule and what games do you think Nebraska wins? We're not doing that here. However, when you do look at some of the teams that Nebraska is going to play, a lot of them are either like-minded, similar, or on paper, not inferior. That's the incorrect word. I think it's more so of just looking at it on paper, Nebraska should be favored and should expect to win. So through that, you need to be able to close them out. Like, you need to be able to step on the throat, and with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, there is no concern.
Yeah, that's probably number one on my list. Learning how to finish out a game, learning how to take command in the fourth quarter, and learn how to dominate all 4 quarters instead of 1, 2, 3 quarters of the game.
We had that conversation so often under Scott Frost.
Yeah,
where it was like, man, Nebraska just needs to close out games. Number one, it gets annoying after a while. But number two is, do you just do that or do you learn how to do that just by doing it? Like, is that the lone way that you can learn how to close out games? Because once again, as we just said, don't talk about it, be about it. Don't tell me how you're going to close out a game. Show us how you're going to close out a game.
Well, in the part you started off with Scott Frost, this trickled down to Matt Rule.
Oh yeah,
I mean this is not a Scott Frost thing or a Matt Rule thing. It's a players thing, and once the players learn how to finish out games, they will be the team that they want to be. I mean, we can sit here and say, oh, the coaches did a bad job of coaching in the fourth quarter. No, the players need to learn how to finish out the fourth quarter. I mean, when you throw those 4 fingers up at the end of the third and you taking it, you want to dominate at the end of the game, just like you dominated in the beginning of the game. And that comes down to players.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, going back to this whole like year 3 narrative, just for context, Matt Rule in year 3 at Temple went from 6-6 to 10-4. Matt Rule in year 3 at Baylor went from 7-6 to 11-3. Here's my thing. Nebraska is not Baylor or Temple. It is more difficult.
Big Ten.
It is a much tougher conference.
Yep.
And this is not me saying that Matt Rule can't and Nebraska can't make this like year 3 jump that everybody's hoping for. But this is why I hate this conversation. And why I think it's maybe low-hanging fruit. From an X's and O's standpoint, from a continuity, stability standpoint, sure, yeah, you can use that thing because of, you can say the same thing going into year 4 of like, yeah, you expect it to be better because you have another year under your belt, another year in the building, another year of recruiting and getting your style of player in there. Like, yeah, sure, from the X's and O's standpoint, yeah. But to think that like this is the same job that Matt Rule had in 2015 with Temple is a lazy take, in my opinion. This is not the American Athletic Conference.
No.
This is it's also teams operate differently than they did in 2015, and they operate differently than they did in 2019.
People need to understand that now you have a roster limit. In year 3, you have money that's been thrown left and right to these kids in year 3,
which we need to also like come to terms, and not saying that we haven't, but we need to have this full realization that internally coaches and leaders in that room can sit there and say, we're going to play the best guys overall. However, if you're making a financial investment into somebody, there's going to be a longer leash.
And one thing that people understand, how does our roster compare to these other big time schools? How do it compare to Penn State? How do your roster compares to Ohio State, Oregon, the top 4, Michigan, Minnesota, who's had Nebraska year number for the last couple of years. So you got to understand, how does Nebraska play against Northwestern again this year? Are we facing the same Northwestern team that we play like we played in Ireland a couple of years ago? Do we take the lead and can't finish the game at the end? So
because like here's where the other part is of like, Nebraska's got to look at this as, I think personally for me, you can't worry about Ohio State right now. I mean, you can, right? And like you should, But if you're so concerned with catching Ohio State, then you're going to drive yourself crazy because it's going to take years and years to get there. However, if you can accomplish a smaller goal and start the day off with a win, right? Like whether that's competing with Minnesota or whether that's consistently beating Minnesota, to use your analogy of the Golden Gophers, because they have had your number for no understandable reason other than they just did the little things a little bit better than you did. I look at, okay, what are some things Nebraska needs to do this year? And we have a couple of things from the text line. Cheeseburger said a plus in the turnover column, less than 10 fumbles all season, a win against Iowa and Minnesota, no blowout losses to teams like Penn State and Michigan. They have a lot of work. They have a lot of work to do to prove that they are on the right track in his mind. I think that's fine. I think another thing is health. Like there's a lot of concerns for me on a big one is certainly at running back, but there's a lot of concerns for me at multiple positions of what Nebraska has after some starters.
Yeah. When we talk about this season, my main goal for me, not my main goal, but my main thing is Dylan Raiola has to be Dylan Raiola. You know, he has to.
But what does that look like?
Like,
okay, so let's do the impossible and let's make this just for the sake of sports radio. What does that look like? Because I think, and maybe this is where, text us 4645685. Text us a stat line that realistic one that you want to see Dylan Raiola have this year. Because
I want to see him cut down on the interceptions.
Okay, and that's fine.
Like when you start off how he started off, and then that mid-season slump really kind of.
Because I think a lot of it's perception versus reality of what we perceive Dylan Raiola to look like and to be able to do versus the reality of what can we really expect from him.
Yeah.
Maybe for fans, those are the same.
Well, you got to understand this is supposed to be his year this year. I mean, if he.
Yeah. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Having two offensive coordinators last year kind of probably put him in a bad spot.
Yep.
When you talk about the receiving crew last year, it's mind-boggling to me because when you look at a guy like Isaiah Nair, who's doing things in San Francisco that he didn't do here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Isaiah Nair is a good athlete. When you hear George Kittle talk about him, and what he's doing,
absolutely.
Who's to blame now? It's that 23-year-old coach that you had that probably wouldn't push these guys.
You're right.
Like that coach that you have now out there.
However, and I really like
now you can now, hold on. You could say that those guys were seniors.
Yeah.
Okay, but Isaiah Nair wasn't a starter at Texas. Didn't really play. So you go off his stuff from Wyoming, where that was 3-4 years ago. Still have to be coached.
100%. I think. It's so hard for me.
A kid can't coach himself, Nick.
No,
that's what he can't
right.
do.
It's so hard for me to sit there and be like, man, I use this nonchalant cliche phrase of like, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it. Like, there's nobody to blame but Nebraska.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's so frustrating time and time again. And man, this segment has kind of took a turn to where we're throwing water on the fire of the Kool-Aid. Like, it's not what we're trying to do. But as we have these conversations, I would sit here and say that I feel the most confident about Nebraska's wide receiver room from top to bottom. I feel more confident in their ability to produce this season than I have since, oh my gosh.
Why? That's and you know the answer.
Well, because they have the most proven talent that they've had. It's new faces, but the most proven talent that they've had from top to bottom.
Well, I say
Ja'Cory Barney was your number one wide receiver last year, and I think that he's going to be. I mean, it'll be a toss up for second or third. I think for him and Isaiah Hunter. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but it's more than just those pieces.
Oh, sure. You need somebody to deliver the mail.
If you look at a freshman, and I expect another freshman to come in here, and probably what my sources tell me is that this kid right here is probably going to be a starter.
Okay, who is this?
If not, he's going to play more roles than probably Jacory Barney played. Jeremiah Jones.
Oh yeah,
I heard good news about this kid, and when you think about it, when we went to the spring festivals, that's what I call them, festivals.
Yeah,
he didn't play in that game. He didn't play with the 3s and 4s. That tells you something.
Oh yeah,
and plus this kid was
now a lot can happen over the course of a summer.
Yeah,
a lot of good things and also a lot of bad things. Right, like setbacks.
One thing we have to do is stay healthy through the whole fall camp.
Yeah,
but you still have to practice. I mean, this is not no workload management. We don't need that. There's no such thing as workload management in fall camp.
Which I feel like we're past. Like I feel like with this staff, we're past that.
Yeah.
With the previous staff, we had to have serious concerns about that.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to workload management one guy, it would probably be Emmett. I need Emmett. I need Emmett.
And
healthy.
I think obviously Dylan's on that
and
list.
Dylan. I mean, everybody knows the quarterback is off limits.
Yes. Yeah.
I
mean, yeah. Okay. So there's that. Like, is there anybody else that you feel like? I'm trying to think defensively as well. Like in the secondary, are there pieces that are thin or areas that are thin?
D-line.
Yeah. Sure.
You have a lot.
What's
you
behind?
have a lot of guys. I mean, you could say,
oh,
we have William Neole, the 5-star. He didn't.
But, okay, so that goes right. I think Williams Nwaneri is right in the same conversation as Dylan Raiola of perception versus reality.
Yeah.
What do you? Okay, here's the thing, and this is once again not to like pour water onto the fire. There's a reason that he was not playing at Missouri.
Yeah.
And we don't know that reason. There's something that kept him off the field.
Yeah. Most 5-stars play everywhere they go.
And so, once again, that's not to say that, okay, this guy needs a new, fresh start, and Nebraska's that start, and Nebraska's going to give him an opportunity. Maybe he was done bad by Elijah Drinkwitz down there. Who knows, right? It could be in Williams Nwaneri's control. It could be out of his control, and we don't know, right? And maybe we'll never get a true, authentic answer from anybody on that situation. But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And whatever that reason is, yes, he's at Nebraska now, new start.
Yeah.
But the perception is that he's going to be one of the best edge rushers Nebraska's seen in the last 10 years. The reality is you're asking for a monumental jump from a guy that did not see the field very often last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this is where we can, as just fans, can set ourselves up for failure. And we make these jokes about how much there's pain and how much suffering and how much hurt there is. Well, in a way, we kind of do it to ourselves because we have this perception of what we think guys can be versus the reality of what you're asking them to do. And it's it is so far apart. The two things are so disconnected, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think the thing with Neole is that when you go to a school like Missouri, who had the dreams of playing for a college football playoff last year, you kind of settled with the guys you already have in place. Now he goes there, things didn't go his way. He redshirts, he didn't play like he wants to. I don't think he was fully developed like he needs to. And now you come here to Nebraska and you get a coach that can work with you one-on-one. You get somebody who can really develop you, not right away, but in sense what you're saying, let's take it game by game.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to throw everything at you in the book in one season. Now he's a work in progress, yes, but can he thrive at Nebraska? Hell yes. This kid, he has the size. He has the size. He just needs to be. I mean, I sit here and see guys that when I played with #1 linebacker coming out of college, coming out of high school to Nebraska. It probably took him 3 years to get to where he needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But when he did get on the field, he turned out to be great. Instead of that 4-star Gatorade player of the year or whatever it was back in the days. Mm-hmm. And I think only time can tell that. That's why you and this is why I talk about the defensive line, because you don't have that Ty Robinson. You don't have a guy who's that big. Now you have to play with speed and technique and fundamentals.
Yeah.
And instead of being a big bull rusher or a guy who demands a two block scheme.
It's fascinating because so Old Dad 34 says we win if the defensive line is the strength of the defense with what we have behind them. Let's talk about what Nebraska has behind them, because obviously on that defensive line, it's Williams Nwaneri. He's going to be active, right? And then Riley Van Poppel, Keona Davis. There's more.
Cam Lenhart.
Yeah, Cam Lenhart.
Can he come from that slump that he was in? Because we did not hear one word out of Cam Lenhart last year. Not the Cam Lenhart we heard when he was a freshman.
Yeah. Well, or saw.
Oh, yeah, coming out of IMG, he disappeared last year. Can he reappear? I mean, and then when you talk about the back part of the defense, and I think the linebackers are the strength of this team. If you really want to talk about what we have there,
I'm really excited to see what a guy like Marquise Watson-Trent can do.
Yeah,
I really.
But
part of that also is from the job of the defensive line.
Yes. Can they keep them blockers? Can they keep them linemen off him? Can he shed them blocks? Can he get off a block?
Let's dive into that, because you and I also had a conversation off air about substitutions and methods and things like that, and thoughts on subs. We know what they did under Tony White. We don't know necessarily what they're going to do under John Butler, potentially some of the same. Let's dive a little deeper into that when we come back. It's The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Hi, I'm Asher on summer break and about to start second grade. Thanks to awesome people like you who picked Aloe Fiber. They donated $193,000 to schools like mine. This summer, I'm using my fast internet to keep learning, and I can't wait to tell my teacher everything I discovered. So if you're a grown-up picking internet, choose Aloe, because Aloe chooses us, our schools, our town, and our future. Go to aloefiber.com to learn more.
Play ball!
Haymarket Park is buzzing with excitement this summer. Grab your crew and get in on the fun. Be sure to catch all the daily specials and promotions this season, like Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, Souvenir Saturday, Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts all summer long. Don't miss out on the action as the Lincoln Salt Dogs take on their biggest rivals and knock the ball out of the park. Visit saltdogs.com and see this week's promotions and grab your tickets.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms this morning. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high near 87. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raf, and Amon Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert alongside Terrell Farley. AD back tomorrow. Appreciate Terrell sitting in today. If you missed any of the show, check it out on the podcast page, ticketfm.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. Craig says this on the text line. He says, you guys spew garbage expectations of these sports teams. Look in the mirror. Terrell, I feel like all we've done the last 30 minutes has tempered expectations. Is that we've taken the expectations down and said, don't get too excited about this like year 3 jump. And we can't look at this and say automatically Nebraska's going to jump to a 10-win team.
Well, you have to prove it on the field.
Right?
I mean, it's not.
But we talked
I'm
about
not spruing garbage. I'm being realistic. I mean, you have to take steps to being a great team.
100%.
And I'm not. I expect this team to go at least 9-3 this year, based off the schedule. I mean,
don't do that now.
No. I'm just saying. I mean, if I was spruing garbage, I say, okay, this is a 7-6 team or a 5-7 team. No, I expect Nebraska to. I mean. Okay, if you look at what we did during the offseason and in recruiting, Nebraska has bettered themselves in so many ways. Now you bring in some different coaches, and especially with special teams, you bring in a guy who's going to put the best players in position to make this team better.
I'm fascinated just because we'll have that conversation at some point of like, all right, everybody give us your record.
I'm shocked about the comment, how it was put, Craig. Now that hurts my feelings.
That hurts. You didn't have to say it.
Yeah.
I just think that, I mean, there's a couple of ways you can look at this. I think that you and I have we've done this segment. I'm surprised we haven't gotten more comments about, come on, guys, expect more from them. Because we've kind of peed on the fire a little bit here. Like we've tempered expectations and said, okay, look, we understand year 3 is an important one, but we need to understand that Nebraska's not Temple and Nebraska's not Baylor.
And it's not 2015.
It's not 2012. It's not 2015. It is 2025. And the Big Ten is a heck of a lot better than any of those conferences.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so let's go back to what I wanted to mention that though, because who knows? I think we can go back though to the defense. And maybe it's because I said I really like Marquise Watson-Trent. The transfer from Georgia Southern has had over 100 tackles in his first couple of years with the Georgia Southern squad. This is where we throw around the cliche phrases of like complimentary football and complimentary defense, but I think this is where we can actually have an educated conversation about it. And the defensive line is going to look and they are going to have to play different than what we've seen in the years past. And because of that, it is important for all of them to be on the same page. And you can talk about it way better than I can, Terrell, of the importance of defensive line doing their jobs. It might not show up in the stat column of tackles or tackles for loss, but because they do their job up front, it allows and opens the doors for the linebackers.
Yeah, this is a defensive line by committee.
Yeah.
And when I say this, it's going to take more than 3 guys. Just based off experience, playing time, veterans returning, and you don't have a starter back.
Yeah.
Basically. I mean, so you have to go by committee until you figure out who's gonna take over that role of Ty Robinson, who's gonna take that of big Nash
Hutmaker.
Hutmaker, who's gonna take that Jabari Butler role, or who's gonna be the sack master? Who's gonna be the enforcer on this defensive line? Because you gotta have that type of player on the defensive line.
I think you're hoping that it's Williams Nowurni.
I mean, we're hoping.
There you go.
I mean that you can't be a good football team by hope. You got to be it by example.
I'm trying to think. I mean, we have this conversation every now and then of like
Keanu Davis. Can he be that
Yeah.
plug? That's what I'm saying. If I could, a lot. I don't know, Nick.
Who's Nebraska's best pass rusher the last decade? So going back to 2015, a couple of the names. Obviously,
Randy Gregory.
I think that's more than a decade.
Okay.
But okay, so that's the perfect that I'm glad you answered that, because I would agree. But that's your best, and that was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, then there's names from the last 5 years of obviously Ty Robinson, but I'm thinking about like edge guys.
Yeah, like a guy
you
that you fear.
You went into the transfer portal, you pulled out O'Shawn Mathis, didn't produce the way you were hoping for.
Great player though.
Yeah, and great dude.
Yeah.
O'Shawn Mathis. Garrett Nelson was fine. Was good. Last year, Ty Robinson, but it was more in the middle, obviously. Like, that's where Cam Lenhart 2 years ago. This is where, unfortunately, and this is kind of uncomfortable to say, the bar to be a quote unquote quality pass rusher at Nebraska in comparison to the last 10 years, the bar is pretty low. I mean, the bar to where you can be a dude is pretty low, because Nebraska has not done a great job generating pressure.
Yeah,
from the front four at least.
And I hate to go back into time.
Yeah,
and this is where I hate this part at. Like, I need a Grant Wistrom type of defensive end. I need a guy who's gonna pressure that quarterback. I mean, where's that guy? Where's that 10th sack guy that I need on his defense?
How much of that is mentality versus skill?
It's got to be both.
Can you put a percentage on it? Like, is it a 60-40 skill versus mentality? Or, like, because obviously you can say 50-50. Or is it impossible? Or does it vary?
I think it's 50% technique.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
25% player, like their attributes. So what can they do? And 25% coaching.
And there's the other part. Nebraska also, we talk so much about, okay, Nebraska has a new offensive coordinator for a full year in Dana Holgerson. Nebraska has a new wide receivers coach with Dacale Shorts. Nebraska's got a new defensive coordinator with John Butler, new defensive backs coach. We're not mentioning that there's a new defensive line coach in the room.
Yeah, come from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. And out of all of the additions might be.
He has the hardest job.
Yeah.
Because he and when I say he has the hardest job, he's these other guys we had the years before that, these guys been in this program for years. Now you have to come you're the new guy. You have to pick out 3 of the best players that and you have to go back and watch film, but you have to watch it late in the game. It's not like these are first quarter guys you're looking at. You got to go and you have to go back and look at Nwele's high school film and see, okay, and his spring practice film to see, okay, how can I get this guy to get better? What move or what technique can I put this guy in to best make him to put him in a winning situation?
And remember, so obviously Terry Braden, is Nebraska's defensive line coach. Nebraska also hired Phil Simpson as their edge rusher coach. So it's not one guy. It is multiple coaches working with multiple position groups that are very similar, right?
Yeah.
I'm fascinated, and I've used that word a lot. Fascinated at this, like, how does it blend?
I think it's a good situation because if you look at Tony Samuel, when he was coaching, he had the ends and the Sam linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
So my first year, I wasn't in that meeting room with Jay. Jay was a Sam linebacker. He was mostly with the D ends and the Sam linebacker. And then Craig Bowl coached the linebackers. So you talking about the middle and the weak side.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about, we had 2 defensive back coaches. We had Charlie McBride took the tackles, the tackles. That was it. So it's good to see that you got so many coaches, but at the same time, I think it's a good idea. I think it's great.
Is there such a thing as too many cooks in the kitchen?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Not in this day and age.
Because then there's that part too, right?
The more coaches you have, it's better off helps the younger players.
Well, yeah, like you talk about the ratio of coach to player.
Yeah.
Right? Leaders to players.
Now,
So,
Rob, no, what's his name that coaches the linebackers?
Rob Dvorak.
Yeah, he should have a top guy that's on the same page as him.
Yeah.
Like, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I need you to do. But I need you to teach it like I teach it.
Yeah.
So, so we
'Cause you
don't
have to
we don't have no confusion.
That's the part, right? It can work against you if you don't have consistency.
Yeah.
From multiple guys. If Terrell's
If Nick is teaching this guy something different than
Yes.
I'm teaching him, then we're on different pages.
and if there's no communication between you and I to where you don't know that I'm teaching something different, that's another problem.
Yeah.
Like continue to peel back the onion and see layer after layer of how these are issues.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's close out the show, Terrell. Quick 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think there's no better way to close out the show than talking about your Atlanta Braves.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go. We'll be back.
You might not make it out of here today.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and they're having the biggest hail sale they've ever had. A huge opportunity is at your front door right now. Some of these cars we're fixing, some we're not, and some it's totally up to you. New Sierra starting at $15,000 off list. New Canyons at $8,500 off list. New body styles on the Acadias, $3,000 off list. You need to hurry as there's going to be a lot of people heading to Louisville. Check us out at copplecars.com. Stock numbers G121492, G187747, and G196599.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms this morning. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high near 87. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, a low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197. Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, And we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Now back to The Drive with AD, Raph, and Amon Green on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One last time on a Tuesday here for us on The Drive. Make sure you catch Terrell and Bach with Bach in the black shirt from 1 to 3 later today. A little 2-hour breather for you.
Yeah. I think I can go home and take out 2 or 3 games.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, just to relieve a little stress.
Was it a stressful morning for you?
No, it's just, just working, man. I never have a set schedule.
Yeah.
And I have to make up my mind sometimes by at least 4:15 in the afternoon. Do I want to drive to Omaha and deal with traffic going that way, or
they got construction over there
or do I want to wait till 4 o'clock in the morning and get out of my sleep?
Look at you.
To go up there and never go back to sleep again till nighttime. So
exactly.
I ponder that decision every day. Except on Wednesdays, I have to be up there early.
Somebody that does need to figure out what they want to do are your Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, don't go there.
They're
when you
39 and 50.
When you talk about Atlanta Braves, that's like talking about my mama, Nick.
Okay.
So you tread yourself lightly. Tread lightly, Nick.
They're 39 and 50.
Yeah.
They are 4th in their division.
Yeah.
Is it panic time?
No, it's and we rarely do this as Braves fans. We
Please
write
enlighten me.
We write this season off.
Okay.
We write it off. I mean,
you're writing this season off.
Yeah, that's the best we can do.
That's what you do when you start losing.
No, not really, because we unless we can make this comeback like we did in the past. I mean, when you look at us, I'm going to see standing wise.
You're behind the Marlins.
Yeah, we're behind the Marlins. We're not even.
Did you realize it was this bad?
Yeah, I kind of did, but I still have hope, but not that much. 4-game losing streak, 2-8 last 10. Yeah, Nick, go to another subject. I don't want to.
Well, we only have about 3 minutes left.
I know, Nick, but you're swimming with sharks when you talk about.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Because everything I'm saying is factual.
Yeah.
You're 39 and 50.
Yeah, you're right.
You allowed your best pitcher to walk in Max Fried, the New York Yankees. Spencer Schwellenbach, former Husker, is your ace.
Yeah, he's on injured reserve.
He did just get put on with a fractured elbow.
Yeah.
And the Braves might be sellers at the trade deadline. You might just trade away, not Ronald Acuna.
No, you never trade.
You never trade Acuna.
Yeah.
You're probably still a step away from trading Ozzie Albies.
Yeah.
However, there's a couple of other bodies in that roster, in that locker room, that could be some intriguing trade pieces for you if you just want to say, okay, let's mail it in on the season. We'll sell at the deadline, and then we'll see what happens going forward.
Yeah, I mean,
you allowed Freddie Freeman to move a couple years ago.
That hurt. That hurt bad when we should have kept him.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in a bad situation right now.
39-50 is your record.
Yeah, the last time I seen the Braves like this was probably before Dale Murphy era. You know, you don't.
The best part, so I mean, you guys still have two. Okay, so it's a big couple of days here for you guys. You don't play great opponents. You get to play against the Athletics coming up for a 3-game set. Then you play the Cardinals for a 3-game series. Then it's the All-Star break. Maybe you get to reset. Maybe you can go in winners of 5 of your last 6. Then you're only 5 games under 500. And then we're sitting there, and you out of the break, you face 2 of the best teams in Major League Baseball with the Yankees and the Giants.
Yeah.
So,
it hurts.
It hurts. I'm sure it does.
It hurts.
That'll do it for us.
More like your Cubs back in the day. And, just
sure. What are the Cubs doing right now? I know you have the records pulled up.
54-36.
Okay,
man.
thank you.
All right.
What part in their division are they?
They're in the Central.
Okay, and what standing? Are they in first? Okay, they're in first.
Only by 3.5 games.
But they're in first. How's fourth place taste?
Yeah, I'm going to tie you up after this about my Braves.
All right, that'll do it for us. The drive will be live from Adam Carricker's youth football camp tomorrow from Lincoln Youth Football Fields. Can't thank Jay Foreman for sitting in enough with me yesterday. Thank you to Terrell Farley for sitting in today. Terrell, it was a pleasure. Let's do it again.
Never. Not after you talked about my Braves.
There it is.
All right.
Terrell Farley, make sure you listen to him today, 1 to 3 with Bach and the Black Shirt. We'll step aside. The drive is back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully, you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers and storms this morning. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds and a high near 87. Tonight, mainly clear skies and calm winds, low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with light winds and a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket.